We are ready to hear our next speaker, who's going to be presenting with the topic of hitting the jackpot with SEO rankings, competitive research, and content editor tools. I'm always happy to see Chris Ralph, the founder and president and Boulder SEO Marketing. Happy to have you with us once again. This is like the fifth, sixth time. I stopped counting a while back. Happy to have you with us. Hope everything is going well with you.
Doing well and keeping busy. It's great to see you, Andrew.
Great. Then let's just jump into it, and we'll have more time for the Q&A once we're done with sharing your insights.
Awesome.
Please, Chris.
I think we're about 15 minutes over time, so I think I'm going to power through my presentation. I don't want to take up too much of Connor's time.
All right.
Heads up, I think I gave Elena the link to, we're going to host a 2-hour workshop in person and online. So it's basically an extended version of what I'm going to talk about here. So if Elena, if you can share that link, if anybody's interested in learning more about what I'm discussing here, that's a great opportunity. But otherwise, I think I'm going to power through my presentation. It is building on what Matt has just talked about, keyword research. So I'll talk about the competitive research tool on SE ranking and the content editor tool, which is amazing. So you'll get a nice quick overview. And certainly I recommend sign up for that free trial and then test these tools, right? Unless you actually give it a try and you test them, you're not going to know how to use them. So I highly recommend sign up for that free trial and give them a shot. All right. So specifically for this workshop today, I did a test. The results are remarkable. I used the SE ranking tools. I'm going to walk you through the process. Then I'll talk about why and how to deploy micro SEO strategies. So it's a methodology that we developed here, and we're using the SE ranking tools as part of this methodology. These micro SEO strategies and SE rankings, competitive research and content editor tools, that's the key to success. I'll walk you through the process, and then hopefully we'll have a little bit of time for Q&A, but let's get right into it. All right. So Elena, if you don't mind, or Andrew, if you can share the link to, this is the guide that I created for this session today. I wanted to see how fast could I get a piece of content to rank in Google, and what would the results be basically like a week and a half after I published this guide using the process that I'm going to explain to you. And I'm happy to announce that the results are pretty remarkable. As you can see here, I published this guide on August 9th, and you're looking at the impressions. So Google immediately indexed the guide. Then, impressions went up and up and up and up. Obviously, I did a few things besides just creating and publishing the content. And I'll talk briefly about that. But the results are pretty remarkable. And as you can see here, I think I took that screenshot yesterday. This guide now, according to Google Search Console, already ranks at the top for, keywords. If you look at the very top there, Denver SEO pricing, right? We're in Denver SEO agency. So already number one for that keyword. The guide shows up in the first spot in Google. If you want to check for yourself, just type in Denver SEO pricing. And you'll see that guide. You find it organically, but also one of my target SEO keywords, SEO price guide, already on page 1, right? Not at the very top. You cannot expect that to happen. There's other things that you need to do, but we're getting there. And I think I can, there's no guarantees when it comes to SEO, but I think we have a pretty good shot at getting this guide to rank in the top 3 organic search results within a reasonable amount of time. As you can see here, you're looking at Google's new SGE, Search Generative Experience. If you haven't already signed up for this new experience done by Google, just go to labs.google.com. Google is testing this SGE right now, and I believe they're going to roll it out globally next year. So in many cases, if you do a search, for example, SEO price guide, Google will now create more like a conversational first piece of search engagement thing there. And we already made it into the SGE in a very short amount of time. So I hope I have your attention by now. All right. This is another guide that, again, Elena or Andrew, if you guys don't mind sharing the link to this guide, but I wrote this guide. This is basically what I'm talking about in today's presentation. This is a step-by-step guide with instructions on how to do what I'm talking about here. And we'll when I share my screen, we'll quickly take a look at this guide. I'll mention the most important things that you should do as part of this strategy. All right, so with that being said, I think we're going to go into screen share. So I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to do entire screen. All right, Andrew, just let me know, please, if you can see my screen.
Yeah, now we see it. Yeah, we see it.
Okay, excellent. So this is the SEO costs guide that I published on August 9th here. And I'll just briefly walk you through this. As you can see, it's a pretty extensive guide. It took me, I think, from start to finish, it took about 5, 6, maybe 7 hours to create this thing, but it's now showing up already at the top in Google. All right, I'll talk about how I created this guide using the SE ranking tools. But basically, let's briefly take a look at the how-to guide. Okay, then after I published the SEO cost guide, I'm like, hey, I'm going to write a guide on how to actually implement this strategy. So I do recommend read this guide. And if you're interested, join us on October 17th at the 2-hour in-person or online workshop. But basically, I'm not going to talk about everything here. Let me quickly mention why we created this methodology. Our website got hit by the July 1st, 2021 core algorithm update. We were too busy helping other companies do their SEO, completely neglected our SEO. We got hit very badly. I went to the SEO drawing board, and I used SE rankings tools. I figured it out, and as you can see here, within a relatively short amount of time, we turned this sinking ship around, and luckily we're back at the top in Google for most of our target SEO keywords. So this is overall the micro SEO strategy that we developed. Then proof is in the pudding. This is actually a customer result. This is the screenshot from Google Search Console. We implemented a micro SEO strategy using the SE ranking tools. I think this is when we went live with the guide. As you can see here, the results are truly remarkable. This guide now ranks for very competitive search terms at the top or near the top in Google. And I tell you, this is very powerful. So I hope you'll be able to implement this strategy as well. Here's another guide that we published. a micro strategy using the strategy that I'm discussing here. This is year over year results. So basically last 28 days versus the same time period last year. As you can see here, 400% increase in Google organic search traffic. Average position now for this guide, 10.9 versus 45 a year ago. So I just want to showcase how powerful this strategy is. Okay, I'll let you read all this good stuff here. I also recommend you read about EEAT. I think this is going to be the differentiator once we get to the SGE, general intelligence, artificial intelligence stage, where these tools are going to be able to create content that's indistinguishable from content that humans are going to create. So it's going to be very important to boost your EEAT score. I'm not going to talk much about this, but why don't we jump into, don't waste too much time here. Okay, let's quickly take a look at the SE ranking competitive research tool. All right, so I'll walk you briefly step by step through the process that I used to create the SEO cost guide. So simply grab your homepage, go to the competitive research tool, make sure it's set to domain, click analyze. All right. So ideally, you want to find a piece of content on your website that already ranks pretty well for certain high intent search terms, but you're not in the top 3 positions in Google. All right. Obviously, this tool has a lot more functionality here. I don't have the time to explore those, but again, sign up for this tool and take a shot at it yourself. Okay, so for the purpose of this presentation, let's head down to the organic keywords. So I just want to identify a piece of content that I think I could improve so that I can get it into the #1 spot in Google. So I'm going to apply a filter here. Let's say, we're not in the top 3, but we're not higher than position 20, and then search volume. It has to be keywords that yield at least 200 monthly searches in Google. So hit apply filters, click on filter again. So look at this. Okay, so now I'm finding what I call the low-hanging fruit opportunities. For example, why don't we take the SEO packages for small business. So this piece of content, that's it. Okay. It is ranking at, here it's already ranking at position 3, but we're not in the top 1 or 2 spots. So this could be a great opportunity to target. So why don't we focus on this piece of content? Okay, let's say I want to get into the #1 spot for the keyword SEO package for small business. As we know now, it's a long tail keyword. These people know exactly what they're looking for. All right, so I'll grab that keyword. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with using AI tools such as ChatGPT or Google Bard to ask these tools, hey, create a buyer persona profile for an SEO pricing guide that I'll post on my SEO agency website. Look at this. The more you know about your target audience, the better the piece of content that you'll be able to create. Okay. Actually, let's use let me show you something else here. So now that you know your target audience for the SEO pricing guide, we did keyword research using the methodology that Matt showed you. So this is a Google Doc that I used to create this guide. So I did the keyword research. These are the primary target SEO keywords, and these are the secondary target SEO keywords. So here's what I recommend you do. Once you nail down your keywords, do a search in Google. See if Google is going to trigger an SGE. I call this content here MCI, most critical information that needs to be in your piece of content. Okay. So I did this for all of these keywords. I basically simply plugged the information in this Google Doc here. All right. And then I went over to Bart in this case. I said, hey, I'm writing a guide about SEO costs. Streamline the following content, remove duplications, create a great summary, blah, blah, blah. So I pasted all the information that I grabbed from all the SGE search results. So basically, I now know if I want to show up in the SGE results, this is sort of the piece of content that I need to include in my SEO costs guide. Okay, so now let me talk about the content editor tool. And why don't we grab the SEO costs guide. Okay, so let's say the SEO cost guide now already exists. Now I want to see how can I make this guide even better. Okay, so I'm going to click on Content Editor. I'm going to click on New Article, say SEO costs, SEO pricing guide. I'm going to keep this very simple for now since I'm a bit behind. You can do this on a local basis, give it a name, SEO cost guide. If you're targeting a piece of content that already exists, plug it in there. I'm not going to add competitor URLs right now because I'll be able to select them in a second. So as you can see now, the magic is happening. This tool is thinking, so you need to give it a bit of time here. We'll give it another 20 seconds. All right, excellent. So now SE Ranking has pulled in the top ranking pages in relation to the keywords that I plugged in. Okay, this is my top competitor. This is another top competitor. I'm not going to select search engine journal. I'm going to keep this very straightforward here. Let's take these guys, but they're not Ahrefs. Not going to grab these guys, but you can select as many or as few competing URLs that you want to include in your SERP analysis. Connor, I'm speeding up, but I'll be a little bit over time. Okay, so now basically I want to see what do these three competitors have in common? What is my guide missing that I should be including? Okay. So then the next section here in the content editor, content parameters. So this tool is now telling me, hey, you need about X amount of words on your guide if you want to have a chance to rank at the top in Google. X amount of headings, paragraphs, images, great information, right? Otherwise, we would just be guessing. Then let's do this. This is now where you're going to select potentially more keywords that you want to optimize your guide for. So I'm going to quickly unselect all of these keywords, but absolutely this one. Oh, SEO pricing. Look at it. This tool did the keyword research for me. 1,000 people are searching for SEO pricing. Heck yeah, if I can be number one for the short tail keyword, why not? SEO pricing models, right? This is what this guide is all about. So select your keywords. I would say stick to maybe 3 to 5 closely related keywords. Then we're going to scroll down. A lot of keyword opportunities here. Then this tool also looked at what are links that my competitors are linking out to. Okay. Why not maybe write the same wave here? And hey, we're going to link out to this for the keyword planner link. Why don't we link out potentially search engine journal? So select the links that you think you may want to include in your piece of content. Then in relation to the search terms that you entered, these are the frequently asked questions. So why don't we pick the ones that we think we want to include in our guide? How much does SEO cost? That's a good one. What affects the cost of SEO, etc., etc. Why not? Why is SEO important? Then content structure. We always do add headings manually. Oh, sorry. View headings from competitors. Okay, so these are now the headings from the competitors, the 3 that I selected. So here you're going to pick what headings you want to also include in your guide. So absolutely, that's a good one. So you're going to have to go through these headings one by one, competitor by competitor. This is the SERP analysis. This is probably one of the most critical things of this process, because this is where you identify what they have on their web pages, what you may be missing on your page. So we'll pick those for now. Then if you use the content editor tool, if you send the information directly to a writer, include information about metadata. It's very intuitive. I recommend just use this tool, walk through it. And then let's go to the content editor tool. This is now where the magic happens. So the tool pulled in our SEO cost guide. And now over here, if you go to outline, content structure, these are the headings that I selected from the competitors. So if this guide is missing some of this stuff, just add it, right? Why don't we put it here? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Obviously, put it in the right sequence. And then you can use AI to pre-generate content. I mean, this tool is so sophisticated, but I want to show you, let's also include the questions that we picked earlier. There we go. How much does SEO cost, etc., etc. So as you can see, this tool will save you so much time coming up with a content brief, content outline. And then it's basically get to work, right? Create something that's 10 times better than what's currently, ranking at the top in Google. You do need to take into consideration the SGE information, sync that up with the brief that you just created. So it's not an easy task, but if this were easy, everybody would be at the top in Google. So definitely, it takes like real humans thinking about how to combine the content brief that SC Ranking created, and how do you combine that with the MCI, most critical information from SGE. That's the tricky part, right? Not everybody can do that, but if you're able to do that, you can then create something like this, and the results are truly remarkable. All right, excellent. So again, this was an extremely quick snapshot of this micro SEO strategy methodology and how we use the SE ranking tools. If you want to learn more, join us for a 2-hour workshop. We're going to do this step by step, share templates, all that good stuff. We're going to use SE ranking during this course.
Yeah, great, great.
Woo!
Appreciate the information. Hope everybody, it's okay that we are a bit over time. But before I let you go, I just had a couple of short questions. One is, how do you choose the right tone of voice if you're creating content, when you're creating content to target the audience and search intent? Let me just
Awesome,
bring it up on the
Anthony. Love
screen.
that question. Obviously, for every piece of content, we create a buyer persona profile. You know what? We tested ChatGPT and Bart. Feed them as much information as possible and ask them, hey, what voice, what, et cetera, should I use? You'll be surprised how well these tools nowadays work. And by the way, my tip, if you're an agency, try to incorporate AI into every step of your process, but don't just rely on it. Just make it part of your process as the SE ranking tools. They are an amazing help, but don't just rely on them. Don't automate everything away. It still needs real human beings with real brains.
Thank you, Chris. And the last question that we have: how do you choose the best content formats and media types for your content goals, such as a blog post, infographics, videos, podcasts?
Another great question. So it depends on the client. It could be an e-commerce company, it could be a services company, et cetera, et cetera. So different types of contents work better for different types of clients. So you have to do the research. We spend a lot of time doing research, what types of contents will give us the best shot to help our clients. So it's a great question. I cannot give you the answer in this short amount of time. You have to do the research and really figure out what types of content, and that could be YouTube videos, right? That could be whatever it is, podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. It depends on the buyer persona. What kind of content do they consume? Where do they go to consume that content? So it all comes down to doing a lot of research.
Appreciate it. So let's just get our sleeves ready for work, and yeah, because the help is here. We have all the information is available, but it's just a matter of yeah, like Chris said, the human approach to getting it done perfectly. Yeah, I want to thank you for being here once again, and see you soon. Around, and hopefully wishing you good luck at the event that you'll have soon coming up, the 2-hour
Yeah.
event. Yeah, so yeah, just
Cool.
stay in
Thanks so
touch.
much. I look forward to the
All
next
the best.
presentation.
All right,
Cool. Thanks, Andrew.
thank you. I also wanted to add, because we were a bit short on time, that the content writer doesn't just give you a lot of the information. It also has a built-in AI writer tool that it can just write the text for you. You can write paragraphs, headings, expand text. So I just wanted to say that there's the purpose of this event was just to get your sort of creative juices flowing in terms of understanding how to work in a ranking, like going from one tool to another to take that data and transform it into something special. But we have a lot of information on our YouTube channel. I specifically, well, not host, but I'm in a lot of the videos that sort of break down all the tools specific. So just depending on the tools that you're interested in, find that video. Yeah, we have different formats for it, just whatever fits you, and yeah, explore away. All right, and since we already spoke about keyword research and competitive research with Matt and Chris, I wanted to say that recently we rolled out an integration with Wix. So if you are using a ranking and your website is built on Wix, you can take advantage and get the pull up the data from these two tools, so the keyword and the competitive research tools, right in Wix. So just check it out, and it's in the Wix App Store, and you have the opportunity to explore all that data and apply it into your content onto your Wix built sites. All right. As many of you may know or not, hopefully a lot of you know that a big part of the team at SE Ranking is made up of Ukrainians, and we have been supporting Ukraine ever since Russia invaded, and we invite you to sort of help us do this, and just to make it interesting, we will be giving out some swag, so a T-shirt with the word "unbreakable" on them. All you have to do is share the landing page about standing with Ukraine. If you want to donate, please, that would be great. tag us your ranking, and you could be one of the ones who gets to keep this T-shirt. Because yeah, the why we're talking about is because in a couple of days we have a big day. It's our Independence Day, and we just want to show a bit of love and appreciation to our country, and hopefully get you guys excited and show a bit of support if this applies to you.